Thank goodness for Sistina, right? She really carried that battle. But Gildas came through in the end with a clutch victory. The gate's opening. We'll be pulled in. Oh, is this going to be like Final Fantasy Tactics where we all die at the end anyway? Is somebody magicking us out of here? Oh, just everyone but me? Alright. Hey! Warren! Warren! This place will soon collapse. When it does, the Chaos Gate will cease to function. This is no place for you, Warren. Perhaps not, Denim. Farewell. Oh, great Zephyr dance unseen, fly across heaven's veil, yada yada. What are you doing? Oh, I guess I should have known that Warren wouldn't leave Denim behind. He's too good of a dude. Oh, Warren. You saved us. But at what cost? Oh, I guess I did become king after all. Great. I thought we got along okay with the Wallisters. We can manage that, I think. It's not so bad. Oh, yes? What is this? It could be pretty important, you know. We know. Jeez. He's probably off getting murdered somewhere because this is from the Final Fantasy Tactics people. Does he now? I mean, Galgastan hates him, so there's that. Saria! There you are. And Sistina. Someone murdered Denim! Oh. Someone else got murdered. Like a magic shadow, or just... okay. I know, it's the Ninja Shadows that we're always meeting, and every time I make a Final Fantasy joke. And what's the shadow theory? The Tigers of Burnham. Not your other sisters? You didn't bother telling them? You should probably let them know this stuff. Yeah, no shit. Things aren't great here. Gonna try to do the right thing, but looks like draconian measures are going to be required if he is to be kept in power. / alive, I assume. Murder bird. That bird's gonna kill Denim. Kashua. Oh man, this is a flashback. Those words take on a whole new meaning, don't they? And he never did, but she sure left him in every way possible. Scarce a moment goes by we are not at each other's side, and so it shall remain. I will never leave you. I'm a bad person. I'm a selfish, awful person. I'm so bad. I'm the worst. No, sister, you're terrible, but for some reason I still stand by you. I have no sense of scale. Kashua. Is it supposed to make me feel bad? Sister, was I wrong? I mean, honestly, how much would have changed if they'd just stayed out of it? Denim doesn't want to be king. What do they wait for, Abuna? Me, or something they imagine me to be. But I was not really suited to be king. But why does it have to be Denim? I mean, he has united the Isles, but that means people will be more likely to rally behind him. And yet at the same time, there's clearly a whole lot of discontent at the idea of him being in charge. Couldn't a compromise be reached? Some kind of council? Committee, maybe? That sure didn't happen. Father. What was the right choice, in the eyes of these game makers at least? I guess we're about to find out. The right choice according to the writers of the game may not exactly be the right choice according to logic and history and politics, socio-political realities, and so on and so forth. Are we just going to have non-stop flashbacks? Or is this shots of people rebuilding? Good old hanging gardens. We're really not going to do anything for Lancelot? I find that very hard to believe. Really? That's it? It's a pretty lame name for a war of this scale. And there you go. Yasumi Matsuno. Final Fantasy Tactics guy, Tactics Ogre dude. And generally depressing guy who has a very pessimistic view on most everything. Beautiful art that we're seeing here. Naturally beautiful music from these people. Hiroaki Kato rode herd and made sure that these cats were all properly wrangled. So I wonder if there's anyone else here I'll recognize. Anyway, we don't really know what's going to happen at or after Denham's coronation, but I'm going to assume, based on what I know of the game designer, that Denham's coronation will cause a great deal of strife and chaos and depression, and he'll probably be assassinated. Or at least there will be some serious attempts on his life. And it will turn out that all the choices we made were the wrong ones, and the only way to save Valyria was to, I don't know, get Cashua on the throne somehow by not telling her you love her. I've seen the other routes now, how they handled that with Cashua, and it was really just wording that made the difference. It's pretty arbitrary. But then again, a lot of Cashua's actions really seem arbitrary and ill-advised from an outside perspective. We can't really know what she is thinking, what she is going through. To us, she seems like a awful, selfish person, destructively selfish, whose actions and lack thereof, as well, directly caused many of these issues that could have been solved if she'd simply trusted her brother, or simply believed that the guy who had stuck by her through everything still loved her and still wanted to help her. If she had been willing to have a little faith, a little bit of optimism, just a quantum of positivity would have been enough to make all the difference for Cashua. And that, I'm going to assume, is what the game designers think is the correct route. All determined by one dialogue choice. And you can argue that there are moments in history like that where a word made all the difference, or the way you said something changed everything, for better or for worse, but I think it's a fairly uncommon situation. This is based on events in Yugoslavia, of course, as you know if you've been watching this since the beginning. Dave went into that at the beginning. So it was about how those events affected him and his worldview. And I think he's trying to communicate that to us through the general darkness and despair that runs through every aspect of this game. There's sort of a despairing tone, a fatalistic approach that we see here, that like nothing that you do is ever going to be good enough. And I don't generally subscribe to that worldview. So this game and I have serious differences, philosophically speaking. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an optimist, but at least I'm not quite as despairing of everything. I think after we see the credits here, we'll be brought into the epilogue, so maybe some of our questions will be answered at that point. But we can't really know until we get there, and there seem to be more credits yet to go, and the entire QA staff. Imagine if you were one of the QA staff who wasn't listed there. That would be heartbreaking. After you spent 500 hours redoing one action over and over again, attempting to recreate some kind of bug. It's nice that they have a shout out to the Tactics Ogre staff as well. Because, you know, game couldn't have existed without them. But apparently they're just not important enough to fit into the credits. Oh, here we go, the Coronation. A really ugly crown. The war is over, and yet our troubles remain legion. Our people still suffer. They are hungry without family or peace in their hearts. If I have one wish, it is for every man to bury his differences. We must sever the chains of time and make a break with the past. For our future, for our children, we must repent and endeavor to reform. We must, and we can. We will build a new future, a peace where all live together, as Valyrians. Yep. Called it. So I hope you enjoyed Tactics Ogre. Let us despair together. I've been Matt, here on Y Caliber. Until the next time, all the best.